Hi guys, so today I wanted to make a quick video about something that happened to me on the way to work today, which was that I saw a pervert on the train. So yeah, I was on the train. I was on the train to work, and you know, it was really quite surreal because I didn't really understand what was going on until it was basically over. And it didn't happen to me, thank God. It wasn't like he was assaulting people, but he was one of those people that probably gets off on doing things in public. So he was on the train. He was at a door that had a lot of women at it, which I didn't notice or I didn't think about until later when I was describing the situation to the police woman on the phone. But yeah, he was just like being really weird, and he was really close to the door. And at first I thought he was just a weird guy, because there's sometimes just weird guys on the train, and they're not doing anything. They're just a little bit off. But this guy was like holding his jacket really strangely. Like, instead of holding it in their hand and like just letting their arm relax, he was holding it up like this. And it was like, he was like holding it like it was draping and covering something. And this wasn't directly in front of me. I was like by the door, and there was another girl that was like directly in front of him. And I felt so bad for her because she must have either seen his junk, or at least she definitely knew what was happening, because he did it and he ran off the train. This is all in like between from one stop to the next stop. He basically masturbated, came in the door, and then got off the train. And the girl that was directly in front of him noticed it, and I'm pretty sure she knew what he was doing, because she looked like she wanted to move away, but the train was full, so she had like nowhere to go. And usually the policy in Japan, the policy they support is like, if you see someone doing inappropriate stuff, you should say something. But no one said anything while it was happening, and I'm pretty sure the girl that he was doing it in front of knew, and maybe some of the other people on the train knew, but no one said anything. And it was really weird because I wanted to say something, but as a non-Japanese person, it's like, I often feel like people don't believe me when I say stuff happens. Like, if I tell like some Japanese people, oh, this thing happened, or like this thing happened with this company, the most common response is, oh, well, maybe it's just because you're a foreigner and you don't understand, or something along those lines, where it's like, you're not Japanese, so you don't get it. And I didn't want to be like trying to call him out and then him be like, shut up, you're not Japanese, you don't know what you're talking about, you didn't see anything, kind of thing. So I was really hoping that one of his countrymen would say something, but nobody said anything. And at the next stop, someone I knew got on the train, so I moved her away from the door because it was like on the door and on the floor, and I didn't want her to step in it. And I just feel bad because it's like, I didn't know people could ruin public places in that way. Like, public places are supposed to be kind of like a safe space, and for someone to just go and just decide to do something like that, he did it on the train door, so that means whoever may happen to like lean against the door later on, they're gonna have his junk on their clothes or on their bag. And it's unfortunate that these public spaces are held sacred enough by people so that they don't do that kind of stuff. And I'm like thinking, like, what if there were children on the train and like they were playing by the door and then they touched it or something like that. And it's just really unfortunate, and it kind of made me, like, it put me in a terrible mood for the whole day, because the whole time I'm thinking, like, I looked him in the eyes, because at first I didn't know what he was doing, And I was looking at him because I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I kept looking at him, and then it wasn't until like right before he got off the train that I realized what the frick was happening. So it was really weird, and I couldn't forget his face the whole day, and I was just like, oh, why didn't I say something? Or why didn't I, like, what can you do? Like, grab him by the arm and be like, hey, like, I know, I'm like, just like everybody else, I'm not trying to have all this extraness on my way to work. I just want to go to work. So it's kind of frustrating. I'm mad at myself. I'm mad at everybody on the train. But I'm definitely mad at that guy for doing that, because there's, like, why do you have to defile the public place like that? Just keep your freaky dumb shit at home. Do it at home. Like, what the fuck? So after that happened, I went to work, and I decided at work that I was going to tell the train staff, because I went straight to work after that because I had to be to work at a certain time to do some project stuff. So I didn't have time. So after work, I went to this train staff and I told them about it. Not necessarily the details. I just told them that there was a chikan, which is a pervert, on the train. And they were basically like, oh, well, we don't handle that stuff here. You have to call the police. Which was really disappointing. That was a very disappointing reaction from the train company. I mean, it was their door that he ruined, so you would think they would feel like they have more of a stake in catching this guy. But instead, they treated it like, oh, well, this happens all the time. And since you don't know his name and all that kind of like information that would be used to actually catch him, just call the police and they'll handle it. Like, they didn't seem like they cared at all, which is ironic and hilarious because the train gave out these badges. This is a badge that says, don't touch me. Chikan ni kankang. So she's like mad at chikan. I got this from the subway guy. They were giving them out for free. They're like, come get your no pervert badges. And then I go to report a pervert, and they're like, well, we can't do anything. So instead, I had to go and call this number that they gave me. And it was the police. I don't know if it was a special hotline or not, but it was a police number. And basically, I had to tell the policewoman on the phone about the whole situation, what train it happened on, about what time, what station the guy got on and off of. All that information I had to tell her. And basically, she was like, okay, the police are going to look into this. They're going to get on the train around the time that you saw this happen, and they're going to look for this guy. I gave her a description of what he looked like. And they were like, well, if you can't catch him, would you be available to, like, point him out from, like, a photo or something? And I was like, yeah. I kind of looked the freak in his eyes, so I can't really forget his stupid pervy face. So I was like, yeah, I can do that. And like, it might be while you have to go to work. Is that okay? And all that stuff. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. This was all done in Japanese. I had Shota call the police with me because I was just feeling nervous about doing it, about calling the police. I don't know why. I could understand everything she was saying. But at the same time, like, I was just so mentally frustrated and like in an angry ball about the whole thing. And I just really hope they catch the guy, because I feel bad for the girl that he did it in front of, because I feel like, I mean, she looked like she was going through enough, and she probably didn't need some freakazoid being a stupid pervert on the train on her way to wherever she was going that morning. And I really hope nobody accidentally touched his junk on the door. And I'm just like, I was so fed up with Japan for like the whole morning. I was like, all of Japan sucks. I can't believe this happened. This is effing terrible. That was my first time like seeing like a pervert, like actual pervert doing pervert stuff. Like, I've seen guys on the train without their pants, just falling asleep late at night because they're drunk, and I'm like, drunk guy with no pants, whatever. But this was like morning, 9 a.m, going to work time, people doing that. So it's just like, there's no excuse. I mean, there's no excuse anyway, but especially at that time, there's no excuse. So it's just like, it was really, and now, like, the whole day I'm like, fuck Japanese trains, fuck, like, salarymen, fuck all of that shit. Like, they all suck and they're all horrible. Of course, that's not the case, but that's how I felt because I was just so disgusted and angry that he would fucking do that. And I'm just like, anyway, I talked way too long about it. But now that I've like said it and got it out there, maybe it won't bother me anymore. I'm just hoping to whatever God that exists that I don't have to see his face in my mind again because I might have to like remove some brain synapses to just get rid of it because it's horrible. It's been the worst thing. Yeah, one of the worst things that I've experienced in Japan. It's just so fucking unnecessary, that kind of behavior. I just fucking hate it. So yeah, sorry for such a dark chatty vlog, but this shit happens in Japan. I'll put the number for contacting the police down below so that if you want to report something, please report it. Please let them know that these people are out there and that they need to go and stop them from defiling our public places. I'm going to do other stuff later this week that is not this dark because I can't have oh my god. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you need any more information about how to report these kind of issues, if you want help on like knowing what Japanese phrases to say when reporting a pervert, just let me know in the comments below, or you can email me personally if you feel better that way. I have my email address and everything in the about section of my page. I can put it down below, and I just hope you guys never have to see something like that on the train because that could definitely ruin your experience in Japan. So yeah, thanks for watching and stay tuned for a much better, much not utterly frustrating and depressing video later. Bye.